Hi, I'm Danny Lowles, principal owner of the Bryan Marketing Group, digital marketing agency downtown Reading, PA. And wanted to talk to you folks today a little bit about Google Partners Connect, as well as the Google Summit that took place in September of 2016. Wanted to address some of these issues and kind of highlight them because individuals are working on their budgets for 2017, considering SEO, considering pay-per-click, looking at the impact that mobile has on businesses in its entirety. So a lot of this has implications on planning, on budgeting, on what exactly is happening in the marketplace from a SEO, pay-per-click perspective, and very much so combined efforts on how you take a look at this based upon the Google Summit and a lot of the talking points that took place today, as a matter of fact, for Google Partners Connect. So with that being said, want to kind of kick it off. And one of the big things that was talked about when we were in New York for Google Partners Connect on September the 1st, 2016, was the overall impact that mobile plays into search. But the big piece and the biggest takeaway was the combination of organic search, SEO, and alignment with pay-per-click campaigns, AdWord campaigns, Bing campaigns, you name it, that there is a incremental lift. Throughout that discussion, Google estimates that there's roughly an 89% lift, and that has major ramifications and opportunities for businesses that are planning for their budgets for 2017 and thinking about what the opportunities are from a organic search perspective as well as a paid search perspective. So with that being said, one of the other things that I want to kind of deep dive into is how that plays into the local components. So when you're working with or thinking about your budget for next year or putting together perhaps a campaign or testing SEO and pay-per-click together, I think one of the things that you need to take into consideration is the localization and the strategy around SEO, pay-per-click combined. So a lot of times you'll wind up running, what we see is clients running the same exact keywords and phrases that they're focusing on from an organic perspective in their pay-per-click campaigns, even though the conversions are high. But then that gets down to cost per conversion or cost per lead or cost per call, however you want to define it. Those are some of the things that you definitely want to take into consideration, as well as looking at a SWOT analysis. What are your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities and threats at the localized level when you're considering SEO and pay-per-click combined? And not only that, but deep diving into your market position. What is the company's positioning within the local market in order for you to capture those opportunities with a combination of SEO and pay-per-click? So keep in mind that a lot of the campaigns and things that we hear when we talk to clients around pay-per-click specifically is that they think of only search, right? Well, Google and Bing go way beyond just the text components of AdWords. You have display, you have remarketing, you have Gmail, you have a number of opportunities as well as video that you can leverage in order to maximize your position within the local market, specifically with SEO and pay-per-click. The other component is the incremental clicks. Research has been done on this for years as far as the incremental clicks that you're going to get from pay-per-click on an SEO, from an SEO perspective. And what I mean by that is if you're running pay-per-click campaigns, there's a greater likelihood that you are going to see an increase in SEO-related search traffic, merely because people see it. Some people don't want to click on the ad knowing that it's an ad, so they simply do a search. It's very common. So you're going to see some residuals from running pay-per-click campaigns as far as that activity is coming down the pipeline from a pay-per-click perspective as well as SEO, but it may cost you. So something to bear in mind. The other thing that we want to talk about is the ability to measure performance. This is one of the issues that was brought up, or one of the talking points from the Google Summit, is that performance is measurable across all of these platforms. When you're talking about SEO, you can clearly see what's coming from that particular area, and at the same time with pay-per-click, you can see, provided that the appropriate mechanisms are in place to measure performance effectively. The next talking point was a controlled visibility. And what I mean by that is you can clearly control, from a pay-per-click perspective, what shows up in the search results. And at the same time, with that understanding, make better strategic decisions on the SEO side to make sure you're maximizing your reach and visibility, getting the brand out there, getting your products out there, talking about your location, getting all that information to the forefront from an organic perspective as well as a pay-per-click perspective. So a lot of control when these two are used in combination to make sure that you're getting the best possible traffic at the best possible cost based upon your business needs and your geographic location, right? The other thing is the data, right? So it's Google data everywhere, right? So you've got Google Analytics, you got AdWords data, you even got webmaster tools, you've got mobile tools to assess how good your site is from a mobile-friendly perspective, to give you some insight into what is and what is not working. At the same time, when you start to look at things such as display ads on Google's networks, you can leverage that information to identify link-building partners to develop content. Let me give you an example. Hypothetically, we're an agency, right? So hypothetically, if we wanted to look for a place where we might want to disseminate content, we're looking for relevant information that pertains to our industry that performs well when that traffic comes to the site. So we can leverage a display network to identify those high-performing locations via the display network, communicate with those individuals, ask them about creating content to get a link back, and start to do that consistently for link building opportunities. So by leveraging display and that display network information of relevant content with low bounce rate, high engagement, they're going way deep into the site, they're even purchasing in some cases. Those are those low-hanging fruit for you to reach out to and start to link build based upon AdWord related information that can impact SEO and help you to build links, relevant traffic to the site, and start to cultivate those relationships. Huge win for a business there. At the same time, tailoring that message, and the message, when we start talking about SEO and pay-per-click, you can tailor those messages. Primarily, I would speak to, with simplicity, in the grand scheme of things, is more so on the pay-per-click side, where you can tailor that message to the target audience based upon psychographics, geographic footprint, gender, you name it. You can tailor that message specifically, as I mentioned before, within the local market, and you can create greater opportunities, as we talked about, cultivating that content from an SEO perspective. If you're seeing wins for the pay-per-click messaging and the tailored messages, repurposing that information on SEO to see if you can't get those same wins and run A/B testing or content experiments, however you do it, in order to see what's going to generate the most traffic, what's going to increase brand awareness, what's going to generate leads, and what's going to get people walking through the door and ideally making a purchase, right? So great opportunities there, right? The last and final piece that we generally add as an agency here at the Bryan Marketing Group is very much so around localized measurement and return on ad spend, right? So I've written about this a number of times, and I kind of think that from an agency perspective, I like the return on ad spend, or return on marketing dollars is probably a more simplistic way to address that. But as an agency, we can't always control all of the variables associated with ROI. However, if you are an agency of record, or you have a specific project that you're working on with a specific scope, we can control the return on that project to some degree, and we can control the spend and the recommendations that we make to measure return on advertising dollars, right? So you want to look at that for both SEO and pay-per-click, and a combined effort of making sure that that local traffic that's coming through is the best possible traffic from both SEO and a pay-per-click perspective. With that being said, love to hear some of your comments, your feedback on the video. Love to get some questions. Check us out on Twitter, on Facebook, and on LinkedIn. We're always disseminating content, and we generally have a weekly blog on our site. So for more information and more details, and to chat with us and to give us comments and feedback, don't hesitate to check us out via social media and or comment on the video. Thank you very much. Good luck.